now we are in Hong Kong airport, waiting for our next flight. We're going to Cambodia. We've got no money, so we cannot buy anything. Which is very sad, even though airports are the worst place to go shopping. So we flew to Hong Kong, maybe 2-hour flight, got another 3 hours I think to Cambodia. I should get in the evening. We'll know our visa when we get there. Alright. The majority of visitors to Cambodia are eligible for the visa on arrival, including those from the UK and from Taiwan. The process itself is rather painless. There are a couple of counters before passport control where you supply your passport, one passport photo and $30. In return you get a single entry visa valid for 30 days. This is our hotel room. Look, we've got a nice window here, look. Oh look, have a look. Oh, someone's pooping. This place is called Panda Hotel. We took a tuk-tuk from the airport. We went to a little booth and they gave us a ticket. It was going to be $9. And I gave the tuk-tuk driver $10 and it's like, fine. We're going to head out now. Tracy wants to find a place where she can make me eat spiders. We'll see. If I'm going to eat them, she's also going to have some. We ended up at the Phnom Penh night market. Unfortunately, there were no spiders on offer, but the place had all the usual Southeast Asian knockoff goods, as well as a food court area. All the food places seemed pretty similar. Lots of food on show. You just pile what you want into a basket, and you find a seat on the mats in the middle, and the food you picked will be brought over to you, after being deep fried. Just a quick one. We are going to the station now. We've got like a 7 AM train down to the coast. The trains only run on the weekend. There's about 5 trains a week, I think, total. Should be good. Trains between Phnom Penh and Sihanoukville restarted in May 2016, after a gap of around 14 years. While similarly priced to the buses that rattle through the Cambodian countryside, the trains offer a much more relaxed way of making the trip, provided you happen to be travelling when they run on the weekends. The line drops to a single track at times during the trip, and we had several stops in the middle of nowhere while we had to wait for trains to pass coming through the other way. But there's still something magical about travelling on train. Despite the trip taking a couple of hours longer than the buses might have, we very much enjoyed our trip. Tickets can be booked a couple of months in advance from baolao.com. Check the description for a link. We were picked up at Sihanoukville station by a tuk-tuk from our hotel, the Sunset Lounge. Situated right at the southern tip of Ocha Teal Beach. Check the description for a link. The hotel name certainly didn't disappoint. Its beachfront location gave us fantastic sunsets looking out over the Gulf of Thailand. Ocha Teal Beach is a long stretch of sand that has been somewhat spoiled in recent years. The further north we ventured, the more construction and rubbish we found, but tucked away in our hotel's quiet end, we were spared the worst of it. It is definitely something to consider though, when you're staying around Sihanoukville. We've been here 2 days, 2 nights. Just hanging out by the pool, relaxing. I think we're going to go for a little walk now. Later on, I'm going stand up paddleboarding. Tracy's a bit scared, so she's just going to stay here. And she gets seasick. So we'll be doing some of that. We have an early flight tomorrow morning to Siem Reap. And that's about it for now. Stand-up paddleboarding can be done from Otres Beach. Find a link in the description below. They take you out in a boat to a small island just off the coast for some mediocre snorkeling. But the main draw is being able to paddle across the ocean into the setting sun. This was my first time doing stand-up paddleboarding, and the instruction was great. They had me up and on my feet in no time for an experience I won't soon forget. It is 5:40 in the morning. We have a 6:30 flight for the Siem Reap. I'm tired. I hate early mornings, but we had to get up. We were flying in. I think when we get there, we've got some guys gonna meet us with a scooter at a hotel. So then we've got 3 days to have a little scooter around, drive around Angkor Wat, and see all the temples, and it'll be fun. Tickets to the Angkor Archaeological Park can be bought in increments of 1, 3 and 7 days. You have a few different options for getting around the park. Most people find a tuk-tuk driver and book them out for the day or the days that they are there for, but we always enjoy the independence of a scooter. So we went with a country called Siem Reap Scooter Rental. See link in the description below. It cost us $15 a day and they delivered and picked the scooter up from right outside our hotel. If doing it yourself, make sure you stop by the ticket office on your first time entering the park. It's not on the main road to the Angkor Wat complex. See the video description for a Google Map link. We made it to Angkor Wat. This is actually our second day here. Yesterday we did the small circuit, which includes a lot of kind of the most must-see temples, they call them. We actually haven't been into Angkor Wat yet. I think we're going to save it. Tomorrow morning we're going to try and get up early to see the sunrise that everyone does. This morning we went to the museum, the Siem Reap museum about this area. It's kind of interesting. Couldn't take cameras inside, so there's no footage from that really. But gives you a good base of what we're actually looking at. I've got a guide thing from our hostel. Look at that. And I've been using a couple of apps to give us a little. Otherwise, you're just looking at like that. It's cool, but I mean, what actually is it? What it is one of over 1,000 temples in the Angkor Archaeological Complex. They range from piles of bricks to vast, sprawling temple complexes, all built from around 800 AD, all through until the sacking of Angkor around 1431 by invaders from Ayutthaya. Modern-day Thailand. We got at 5:30 this morning to go and see the sunrise at Angkor. We found the place kind of before you go in. I think it's a bit quieter. You can see people coming in and out. In fact, lots of people coming out now. Whereas where we were, there weren't really any crowds, but it's a bit further away. It was still nice. Was it worth waking up at 5 o'clock for? We're going to go in now, have a look, and then figure out what we do the rest of the day. After picking our way through the crowds, we were still able to get a shot of that famous Angkor Wat sunrise, reflecting into the waters in front of the temple. Despite the crowds, it was still a spectacular view. We spent a couple of hours exploring Angkor Wat before spending the rest of the day wandering around some of the temples further out. These actually ended up being some of my favourite memories. The less explored temples have a certain charm, and it's fascinating to see the relentless encroachment of nature on these previously magnificent human-made monuments. So I did introduce you to our trusty mount. There it is. Little red. It's kind of a piece of shit. Look at this in the mirror. Doesn't stay up at all. And it's kind of a bit rubbish, but it's done the job. And here we are on our last day. last night here. Trixie keeps forgetting to take her helmet off. From Siem Reap, we hopped on a short flight back to the capital Phnom Penh for our last day. Hello. We're staying in the Aquarius Hotel and Urban Resort in Phnom Penh. I think seems pretty nice. Have a nice swimming pool. Tracy picked us one. You happy? Today we are going to go out to the palace. We have one day in Phnom Penh. It seems like it might be enough. We're going to go see the palace, and then we are going to go to the Genocide Museum and learn a little bit about the war. The Royal Palace and Silver Pagoda were an interesting way to spend our morning, but the Genocide Museum was a really sobering and eye-opening experience. Set in an old school turned torture facility turned museum, we would highly recommend the audio guides for eyewitness accounts of the Cambodian Civil War and the horrors that man is able to commit. It's almost a tragedy in itself that this is the most recommended tourist attraction in Phnom Penh. To get around the capital, we've been using an app called Pass app. Check the description for a link. It's a Cambodian-owned Uber for tuk-tuks. Simply put a destination and a rickshaw will be along to pick you up shortly. The app gives you the price and then you pay the driver in cash. We spent our final evening relaxing on the rooftop infinity pool at our hotel and watching one last sunset over Phnom Penh and Cambodia before our flight back to Taipei the next morning.